How's it going?
Not too bad.
Yeah. Well,
It's been.
how's the?
I was going to say it's been a nice, easy, quiet week.
It's been a quiet week. Well,
Yes.
That's a good thing if it's been a quiet week. All right, that's good.
We had
I was going to ask you how's the arm doing?
No, it's fine. It's a little scabbed over, but it's I'd say over 75% healed right now.
Nice. Good.
Yeah. So it's already got me thinking about what's next.
Oh Lord, you got the bug. You got the tattoo. You're gonna be wearing a full sleeve, and we're gonna be talking about neck tattoos next.
No, I'm not going to go that far. If I get anything else, it's just going to stick to this one arm.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I don't believe it for 1 second. You're gonna be addicted.
Yeah.
And then you and Yachty can be together with your neck tats, comparing.
Will's like, well, first off, Will goes, Dad, have you had a midlife crisis yet? I said, I don't think so. He goes, maybe the tattoo is it.
if that is it, that's not too bad.
No.
To be honest with you, it could be way worse, right?
Yeah. But then he's like, are you going to get one on your neck? I'm like, no, I'm not Cody Rhodes.
Nice.
Yeah.
I never understood that, why he did that.
I don't know
No matter
either.
how many times he talks about it, it still doesn't make any sense. It's so dumb. It's just not good.
It looks
Nothing
so
above
bad.
the neck. Nothing above there. Yeah. So. But
And then the funny thing about him having it was so present. And then when he was Fuego 2, and they're like, I wonder who this could be. That tattoo's right there.
Right. No mystery.
Yeah. The same thing's happening with Chad Gable right now as whatever his luchador.
Americano.
Yes. Because you could see his tattoo over the pay-per-view last weekend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't even. I just love the fact that Michael Cole. It's so stupid, but they make fun of how stupid it is.
Yeah.
That's what I like about it. It's just so stupid.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, but man, I'm a week behind. I did not watch Monday's show yet. I'm really looking forward to it. I think I know what happens, and I already spoiled it for myself, but I'm trying to not let anyone tell me anything. So
Yeah, I haven't watched any wrestling this week.
oh, okay, so you did not watch last night at all, and I just happened to come across MJF versus Mystico, I think was his name.
Yes.
So I guess they were down in Mexico City.
Yeah.
So I don't know what was going on there, but hold on, we have our first interruption of the evening. Yes, how can I help you?
Hi.
All right, you scram. Go talk to Mom about that. Okay, bye. I already got my first. I'm so bored today. I'm so bored. I just like, dude, get out of my face.
Well, I've only had one kid here today, so it's been kind of nice.
Oh, that's awesome. Are the other two working?
Well, it's the oldest and the youngest. They're over at their grandparents' house.
Oh, okay.
Will, trying to see How to Train Your Dragon as many times as possible, was able to con them into taking them tonight.
Hey, that's what grandkids supposed to do.
Yeah.
Good on him. And the grandparents should lovingly take him.
Yeah.
That's how it's supposed to be.
So him and Kaylee went over there earlier. Will and some of his cousins were doing some yard work for them and then going to the movie tonight and spending the night.
That's awesome. There you go. Awesome. Yeah, no, I got rid of one of mine a little bit earlier. She went over to a friend's house to go spend the night tonight. And then just been dealing with car stuff all day. So the car that my dad no longer drives that we bought from him, I sent it in for a tire rotation because I thought it was under warranty, where it's basically like you buy the tire from that place, they'll rotate it and balance it for the life of the tire kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that's what my dad told me. So I went and dropped it off last night in the middle of a rainstorm. All of a sudden, when I'm dropping it off in the key drop, the rain just dumps on me. And I'm like, that's awesome. Thanks. But since his name is in the system, oh my God, what? I said no then. That's as much as I will allow. That's it. Perfect. Go give me $5. Go find your $5. No, absolutely not. You just vile person. Why would you try to give me quarters? I don't want $5 in quarters. Get out of here. See, if you were Jay, you'd give me $5 in pennies. It's just to be a bigger ass.
My kids paid for Little Caesars pizza a couple weeks ago in quarters.
Oh my God. That's hilarious.
Yes.
Just go figure it out with mom. Go figure it out. You two can do this. I promise you. You're smart. She can figure it out. She's a smart girl. Thank you. Oh my god, Jay. Where was I? This is just my life.
You were getting rained on.
Have you ever just gotten to a point in your fatherhood that you're just like, if I die, I think they're all going to die too.
Oh yeah.
No one will survive if I'm not here because I can't do anything.
Yep.
Oh my god. And I don't travel for work, and so I'm always around. So it's just I think they've gotten too. I think life's been too easy on them.
I know.
Me being around too much.
Especially with the ability to work from home.
That's that too. Yeah. So anyway, last night rain, dropping car off. Okay. Oh yeah. And then since my dad's on file, they call him, and they're doing the normal. When you bring the car in for one thing, they want to try to upsell you on all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And my dad calls me very nervous and all scared because they call him where I sent it in for a tire rotation, which I thought was going to be free, which turns out it wasn't. We'll get to that part. They call him with $800 worth of fixes they want to do.
Yeah.
And I go, what are you even talking about? Hang up the phone. I will deal with them. And I call them and I go, hey, I just dropped this off for a simple tire rotation. What's going on? And then they try to list all the things. And I go, I'm aware of one of them, which was just the rear brakes. And I go, they're rear brakes. It's a front wheel drive.
Yeah.
We're fine. So don't bother me with that. And then all the two other things. Well, they said, they told my dad a battery light was on. They wanted to change his battery verbally. And I go, I've been driving that car. My son drives it. We both keep an eye on everything. There's never been a light that turned on. They're like, well, maybe it was just something that maybe a mechanic didn't look at right or something. Just, bullshit. And I was just like, don't do anything. Get it off the rack with the tires rotated, please. Not be up to pick it up. And they're like, oh, okay. And then I go and I talk to my brother-in-law for a little bit, and I go, how much have they basically swindled out of this old man over the years at this point? Because he just goes to them because they're close to the house.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason he goes to them. And I was like, okay, tire, that should be good to go, right? And they're like, oh, well, how are you going to pay, cash or card? And I was like, oh, I thought it was covered. He bought the tires from you guys. Well, it's only when the warranty of the tire. And I was like, I guarantee you, he's not put that much mileage on these tires. It should be covered. And like, well, he bought them so long ago, the time frame has elapsed. And I was like, it's warranty for the mileage, not the time. And I just like, fine. I just want to get out of here. We'll never be in here again. Just let me pay you, and we're out of here. And boom, just make that problem go away. So there was that. And that was just a headache. And then I was like, you know what? The brakes are on my mind. I went and bought the parts for the brakes. And I taught Brody about, hey, this is what happens when you pay for yourself and you buy it yourself and do it yourself versus how much they want to charge you. And he's like, wow, that's about half. They double basically everything.
Yep.
And I was like, yeah, everything's going to be way more expensive, dude. That's why you got to learn to do this yourself. And then this is coming the same week, so I had to drop, what is it, about $300 in parts. And then this past Monday, since he's got senior pictures coming up, he needs a suit because the school requires a suit for his senior yearbook picture.
Yeah.
And I was like, he'd outgrown the one that we've been basically pulling together, like a sports coat that he's had since like freshman year, and it barely, like, the arms are way short, like embarrassingly short. But we just kind of go, look, your sleeve's supposed to show a little bit anyway. Why do we care?
Yeah. Could you just take the picture without his sleeves in it?
Well, it's time. It's time that you have one, and you're not gonna. You might grow some more. If you do, we'll deal with it down the road. But for now, let's just deal with that. And Jay, I don't know if you've seen prices on suits lately. Holy smokes!
I have not.
It's just like, oh my god. Okay, and so yeah, it'll make your jaw drop. But luckily, we had someone take care of it because the story behind that is we go to Macy's. Because my nephew recommends to go there because that's where he got his suits from. They took really good care of him.
Yeah.
And I just like, I'll test it. Sure, I don't care. I don't care where we get it from. I just need to get it one.
Yeah.
And so we go on a Monday night, which I'm like, that's awesome because hey, guess what? The weekend's over. Usually people get their shopping done on the weekend. We'll go and there'll be nobody there. And dude, nobody there, which was great. And so we had the place all to ourselves basically.
Yeah.
And so we got some help, and luckily the person that took care of us, they basically dressed him. They gave him built him an outfit from the shoes up, dude. I'm telling you, everything was done. And I was like, that was so helpful. Thank you. So, but the problem was when we went to go check out, they're like, well, you just missed the sale from yesterday. I was like, oh no. But they're like, look, it was just yesterday. They're never going to know the difference. I mean, the big wigs in New York are not going to care that I give you the prices from yesterday. So thankfully, they gave me the price from the day before,
Yeah.
which was a big help. And then they're like, "Do you have a Macy's card?" I was like, "No," but I figured I'd probably need to open one just to get the extra percentage off, and I'll pay it off and close the card. Not a big deal.
Yeah.
And I'd forgotten that. Oh, I forgot. I'm one of those guys that actually cares about his credit, and I froze it. I frozen my credit,
Uh,
and they couldn't open the card. But they're like, "Look." They saw how much I punched in for income, and they're like, I'd already explained where he goes to school, blah 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 blah.
yeah.
They're like, I'm going to go off the assumption you probably would have gotten approved, and I go, I'm pretty damn sure I would have got because I was like, look, I own my house, blah, blah, I don't even have a mortgage, but like, yeah, you would have definitely got approved. So
Yeah.
I hold on, now my daughter's interrupting again. I gotta type go away. So they gave me the sales price plus the extra percent off without even opening up a damn card. So but I had my theory about that in regards to, I think it was closing time and they were probably ready to go home.
No,
So
probably.
they didn't care. They wanted to go home. So it turned out it was one of those things where when you were a kid that's one of the things you dreaded was having to go to go get clothes.
Yep.
So hold on, Em, come on. Hey, I'm trying to finish this up. What are you trying to do? Just press on that one. Yeah. I already did that. I don't know. Okay, get out of here. You cheat. You almost tried to cheat me out of $10. Oh, little sneak. So, but anyway, yeah, that turned out well. But it's just a lot of money dropping in a couple days' time.
Oh, yeah.
That's why it's just stressful. And then, so working on one car this weekend, and then of course we get the thing in the mail for a different car that needs the safety and emissions for
Oh,
the
yeah.
inspection to get the tags. And so we bring home that car, and then as soon as my wife gets home with the other car, we go to drop off that car, and they'll call me in the morning after because I was like, look, it's gonna fail because the check engine light's been on for over a year now, because I just don't care. I know what it is.
Yeah.
The fire it keeps firing a code. That's the gas cap. I already bought a genuine Toyota gas cap, and that didn't fix it. So the car runs fine. There's nothing wrong with it, but you're gonna make me pay I don't know how much just to make that light go away so I can buy my goddamn tags.
Yep.
So I'm already stressed out to the max in regards to it. It's just stuff to piss me off is all it really is. But comes with life, and my son's been along with me the whole time just because because I need to ride home from wherever I drop these cars off at.
Yeah.
And he's kind of like, man, this is a lot of work to take care of all this stuff. And I was like, yeah, it's a big deal, man. Luckily for you, once you get started out, it's just you and yours. Wait till you have to add on a family's car.
Yeah.
And then now that you've got how many in your family, Jay? 4 cars now?
4 cars.
Wait till is it 3 or 4?
4.
It's 4 now. Okay, so again, wait till it all because now you got to keep track of all the different maintenance, mileages, and hopefully nothing happens with anything, or at least they'll be under hopefully some kind of warranty on some of them, or maybe not, and the parts and whatnot. But
Yeah.
man, what a headache! What a frick! It's just nonstop, dude. Nonstop.
Because I know at least
So-
2 of our cars are going to need tires before the winter. So
See, and that's just one of those things where you have to make that judgment call. Because
Yeah.
my truck needs tires, but the tread is fine. But there was some cupping, I guess, that happened on them, and I've just been putting it off because I drive it when I have to, kind
Yeah.
of thing. It's for certain projects, or if all the other cars are in use, that's my car, kind of thing. But it's just one of those things where tires are what it doesn't seem to matter unless you have a smaller sedan where they can still probably get you out maybe with $600, maybe $700 now. But if you have a bigger car of any kind, you better you better have a grand or more ready to roll because
Yep.
it's what they're going to charge you. This world's just too expensive.
it is.
It's just too expensive.
And it just never stops.
It just doesn't stop. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. And then before we even got on this call, we had have you heard of the company Vivint or Vivint? I don't know how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
They ever get around your guys' neighborhood, the door-to-door thing. It's like, dude, and it's not every year, but it feels like every other year or something like that. You guys come around here, just stop. Just get out of here, man. But yeah, that guy, he did well on our street. He conned a couple people into getting it. I was like, well, if they got it, that means it's great. They'll have their cameras pointed at my house. They'll see everything.
Oh, yeah. Perfect.
There you go. I was like, hey, as long as you get the other guys to buy it, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, it's only been a week, but man, it feels like this week, and it's not even over yet. But today was Juneteenth, and so the markets were closed, so I had the day off.
Yeah.
but it just like it's just I've gotten to that point where it's like I don't know if I can enjoy a day off anymore. It feels like I'm cheating the system, like because my wife doesn't get the day off, so she's got to go to work. So I feel bad that she's working, I'm not. And then there's always something to do. There's always something to get done. Cleaning, something has to get done at the house, right?
Yep.
And dealing with the cars and all that stuff. And it's just like, well, luckily I got myself in gear after a little bit. I watched a movie and then I started another movie. Now we'll get to that part in the homework section, but it just felt bad. But finally got around to do some stuff. So cleaned some bathrooms today. That was great.
Wow, that's always fun.
So it's all that guilt,
Yeah.
Now I don't feel guilty. I cleaned up shit. What's up? Let's go.
I wish my wife would have felt that way today because she was off and I worked.
She was off because of June. Yeah. See?
Yeah.
Oh, did she not? She didn't clean your bathrooms for you while
No.
she was off? You better show her that backhand, bro.
Yeah. Yes, that'll go over.
That'll go real well. It's just I feel guilty,
Yeah.
I don't think I can have a day off anymore where you just truly do nothing all day. And then you ever have those weekends where you have like a Saturday or Sunday and you like I can't motivate myself to do so, but there's something that needs to get done. I know there is. There's always something that I could do, but it's just like, ugh.
Yeah.
Or you sleep too much. Well, I don't know. You don't ever sleep. You
No,
stay
I
up late
don't.
and you wake up at like 4 a.m. What do you average? You probably average like 4 hours of sleep a night.
5.5, 6.
See, yeah, and that's enough for you.
Yeah.
See, because you don't ever sleep a day away. Like, when's the last time you've actually slept a day away?
Last Friday I slept in because I didn't get up.
Really?
I couldn't go to the gym because of the tattoo.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So
So you slept in.
I slept till like 7.
Whoa!
I know.
7. That's so late for you.
Extra 3 hours of sleep that night.
Right? Oh my God! Your back must hurt because you were sleeping too much. Did your body hurt? Yep. See?
Because I didn't get up and do my stretching or any of my normal routine.
Right? It's so weird, dude. I can't. It hurts to sleep too much now. We're at that age where you sleep, but if you sleep too much, your body hurts from it.
Yeah.
Like my back's starting to hurt from sleeping too much.
Yep.
Oh, that's too funny, man. But yeah, no. We got through dance recitals are out of the way. School, all the school stuff, they're all done. So now, like you said, it's gonna calming down a little bit. But of course, the first week it kind of calms down. I'm bored. I'm like, oh God, get out of my face.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Well, with 2 of them doing summer school, they're not bored. It's more, come on, get your work done. We're going on vacation in a couple weeks. Get everything done before then.
Well, and see, that's the problem. See, my kids don't have summer school, but they are assigned work from the school to get done during the summer, so that when you come back, they're hitting the ground running with having all their books read and math stuff done. Like they have a whole math workbook. The youngest one has a whole math workbook she has to get done before school, plus 2 books, and then the other 2 have 3 books each to read before. So I was like, well, if you do one, kind of like I know they don't get a full 3 months of summer vacation, but if you kind of it's like just do a little bit at a time, and it won't feel like you're, trying to rush everything in. But of course, you do your reading today. No,
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you're hurting yourself.
So August 1st is gonna come, and they're gonna be like, I got to read 3 books still.
Right, I know. No. I got the boy. He read a little bit the other night, so that was good. I saw him actually reading it, and the other one she promised me that she read. I was like, okay, I'll trust you. But of course, then tonight I'm going over to a friend's house to sleep. It's like, oh yeah, you're gonna get any reading done there, right?
Yeah.
So, but we'll get there. We'll get through the summer somehow, and then everything else. It's just life, man. Life is just. I needed a drink, and I didn't have a good beer to drink. What do you have to help ease the pain?
I am drinking 3 Floyds Gumballhead. It's an American.
The one we talked about last week.
Yeah, American wheat pale ale.
Yeah. Okay.
So
what's the ABV on that one?
I'm looking.
Or is this the one they didn't put it on the can?
Yeah, I don't think they put it on the can. Gotcha. It's probably
I think you said the same last week. Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Real small. 5.6%.
Oh, okay. There you go.
So it's an American wheat ale brewed with white wheat and dry hopped with hand-selected hops from Yakima Valley, bright and refreshing with lemony finish.
Okay. There we go.
This is going to be
a lemony finish. That sounds really good, actually.
Yeah, it is really good.
Is it more of a sweeter beer because of that? Because it has, I know lemon sour, but it sounds like it's going to give it a little bit more of a fruity taste to it, obviously.
It doesn't have that much of it. You can taste a little bit of it on the finish, but this is going to be something I keep in the fridge year round.
Oh wow, okay. So Gumballhead and Zombie Dust, those are like all the time beers for you.
Yeah,
Nice. Okay.
those two and Citywide.
Okay. Oh, Citywide is the what is it? There's a ale, right? A pale ale.
Yeah, that's a pale ale.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So how many out of 5 pints? How many you give it?
I'll give this one a 5.
5 out of. And Zombie Dust is 5 out of 5 too, right?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Well, those are your favorites right there. So
Yeah,
that makes sense.
This is probably the third 6-pack I've had of it in the last 3 weeks.
Okay. Oh. I'm hitting it hard. I'll deal with it in January. I'll sober up in January.
Well,
It's the summer, damn it! I'm going to enjoy my summer.
I picked up
kids being around.
Yeah, I picked up a 6-pack last weekend, and then I drank 5 of them when I was at my in-laws' house. So,
got to deal with the in-laws. Oh boy, here we go. Oh, that's too funny, man. Too funny. So,
yeah.
I got a question for you because I'm going to jump into something here real quick.
Okay.
Did you ever watch the original 28 Days Later?
No, I didn't. It's a blind spot. I think it's something I'm going to try to knock out the whole series. So when when the new one comes out on streaming, I'll be ready for it.
Okay, because what I was going to add, because I spent some time today watching some reviews of some movies, and non-spoiler, mind you, non-spoiler. I've watched plenty of reviews about the live How to Train Your Dragon, and they're kind of really all over the place.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people just shit on it because they're like the animated one's perfection as was. Why? I mean,
yeah.
Why go to the movie theater, spend your hard-earned money when you can just watch it in streaming, somewhere already?
Yeah.
You'll enjoy that one better, actually, because there's just some things you can do in animation that you can't do in live action. One person pointed out, just going, I guess they'd never seen it before, and they go, "These are Vikings, right?" And they go, "Well, yeah, I guess you." They go, "Well, why the hell are they all Scottish?"
Oh, yeah.
And I go, I don't really think that much about it when it's a cartoon, to be honest with you, because I don't care. I love how they all talk. It's all great. And then what's funny,
they do address it a little bit in the movie.
In the live action one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and the funny part is the two main adults in the animated one, yes, they speak with the Scottish one, and then the mom kind of it's Kate Blanchett, right? So she's kind of got a Scottish, but more of a mix between Scot and Brit, I guess, is where I'd land on that. But then Hiccup is just a Canadian. That's all. He's straight up Canadian, bro.
Yeah.
And Astrid straight up just American. Nothing as about as American can be. So I was like, you're thinking too much about it then if you're getting that deep in the weeds about it. But so plenty of reviews on that. But the reason I brought up 28 Days Later is because I remember when it first came out, I loved it. I thought it wasn't zombies, it was the rage virus, right?
Right.
But it was just in that genre where it's way before Walking Dead, right? So it's before the remake of Dawn of the Dead came out. So it's all in that vein, and I don't think we really had a lot of zombie apocalyptic, post-apocalyptic, material at that point when it first came out.
Yeah.
And it was grainy and dark and just everything about it was just cool, and I remember liking it. And it was Danny Boyle, right?
Yes.
And if I remember Danny Boyle's filmography correctly, Trainspotting, right?
Yes.
If I'm remembering correctly. So I mean, Trainspotting came first, right? If I remember, that's his timeline.
Yeah, I think so. It was like 95, probably.
And then we all thought that Trainspotting was it was bad, but also awesome. Like now that we're older adults, when we think about what Trainspotting is with the heroin use, it's like that's really bad. I don't like that.
Yeah.
But then you think about how it was 96. So Trainspotting
96,
was 96. Yeah. I pulled it up, and I go, it was the era of Pulp Fiction, 2 years after Pulp Fiction, right? Because Pulp Fiction was like around 94, I think.
Yes.
So I go, it's just it fit the time. The 28 Days Later was very fitting for the time. And then the reviews I'm reading or watching on YouTube now in regards to 28 years later.
Yeah.
And it's so weird because they're talking about if you like the original, it might do you a disservice to watch it before you go watch this. And I was like, that's usually not the case, because if you wanted to treat this as a trilogy of movies, You've got 28 Days Later. You got 28 Weeks Later. Not to be confused with whatever the Sandra Bullock movie was. A very different movie.
Yeah. 28
As
days.
Pam Beasley once said.
Yeah.
As Pam Beasley once said.
Yes.
On The Office. I wasn't expecting that. But you got 28 Days Later, 28 Weeks Later. Now you got 28 Years Later. But the 28 Weeks Later is completely separate. But I think Danny Boyle was he? I think he was still the director of that one, correct? Or was he not? And maybe he was just a credited, maybe writer or producer.
I don't think he did.
I'm trying.
Yeah, just 28 Days Later.
Because I'm looking at the cast. I mean, it had a Jeremy Renner in it, Imogen Poots, which that's maybe not a name you recognize, but she's actually a really great actress. I enjoy her in a lot of things that she's in. But then Rose Byrne's in it, and I don't think Rose Byrne was big at that time.
No, she wasn't.
But I'm just trying to see. Yeah, no, the director was Juan Carlos Fresnadillo. So I guess Danny Boyle kind of stepped away from it, unless he did some of the writing on it of some kind. But then the reviews that are coming out now about this 28 years later, where you've got Garland and you've got Boyle back. We got Alex Garland coming off, off his great writing in regards to Civil War and tell me out here, Ex Machina, all the things that he's being, revered for. And I go, I don't remember 28 Weeks Later at all. I haven't really revisited 28 Days Later, and then this 28 Years Later, I'm like, but it's the guy that's the original back, and it's these two guys.
Yeah.
And back in 2000, whatever I said when this came out, the original one.
The original is 2002.
Was it 2002?
Yeah.
Okay, 2002. I don't think I would have really recognized it was a Danny Boyle movie and Alex Garland writing on it. But now at this day and age, I'm very familiar with who they are.
Yeah.
And it makes me excited. But then I hear reviews going, you'd be better off not even watching the original one. And I go, oh, no. And they're like, either you're going to really like it or it's just not going to be for you. And I'm like, whoa, that's very divisive in regards to that kind of review. So, but maybe you have it right. That's why I wanted to forewarn you, because that's why I was asking you about it, because then you're saying I want to watch the first two. And then basically what I've heard is they kind of just, not to be a spoiler, but I'm going to spoil it a little bit. The 28 Weeks Later, they kind of just ignore it completely. Yeah. Except for just a blurb in the writing is what they said. And I was like, that's not too big of a spoiler. But they're just distancing themselves away, and that's why they, I guess, we're saying maybe just go in blind on this one if you want to. And you can always go back and watch the original. But the original was great. I really like the original. And
that's what I heard, and I've always wanted to see it. It's just I never got around to it.
Oh, it's really good. Really, I mean, a young Cillian Murphy in it.
Yeah.
And I watched some clips on it today, because it's coming out. I guess today is like you were saying last week in regards to movies are coming out on Thursday now or something like that.
Yeah.
So I guess today's the day to go start watching it versus on the weekend. But what was it they were saying? When they made the original, when they were kind of showing the isolated London, it wasn't. Back in, in 2002, it wasn't CGI. They basically said that they filmed on Sunday mornings at like 4 a.m. before the city got bustling, and they would have cameras they'd use cameras that were really, really easy to move, so they could pivot. And so that if people were starting to walk into the scene, they'd walk and get the camera angle changed so that person wasn't in the frame anymore. Yeah. And I was like, man, that's crazy, because it's now in today's day and age, you just green screen it, or you just do CGI for everything, right? Right. But the fact that they were still doing some practical stuff for that originally, it's just, that behind the scenes stuff. I love that and trying to learn all about that. Yeah. But I'm curious how this one performs. It sounded like it's not going to do too hot as far as just box office.
Yeah. I thought I saw an article saying it had 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
But that's the critics. That's what one person said. They said this is not a critics movie. The guy said it like how we said. I was like, Jay, we should be on YouTube. I'm telling you, we talk like these guys because they talk like us. Yeah. He goes, this is a critics film, is what they said. This is definitely a critics film. Yeah. And I was like, and it's got a great cast. I mean, it's got Ray Fiennes in it. Yeah. And so there's he's awesome. But Aaron Taylor Johnson's in it. It's got who's the Jodie Comer, I guess is her name. I forget what she was in, but she's been in lots of things. Yeah. Like Bike Riders, I think is the most recent one I can remember that she was in recently. But she's been in things. You'd recognize her. I think she's got a unique look to her that you'd recognize. So I was just curious about that one, and then I was gonna throw 2 cents at this one just because it was what's been on my mind today. Because it's kind of what I was kind of watching in the background while I was cleaning.
Mm-hmm.
Was the F1 movie that's coming out with Brad Pitt in it,
Yeah.
and man, I was kind of let down a little bit with what I'm hearing about 28 years later.
Yeah.
It's the complete opposite side of for F1. I like I said, we don't really go to the movie theater too much. I used to watch F1 quite a bit back in the day, but I really don't anymore. But the reviews, everybody is going. If you like sports movies, this is a great sports movie, and I love a good sports movie.
Yeah.
And they're like, but it's one of those movies where you don't go to the theater often, and a lot of people. And I was appreciative of this review going. He goes, I appreciate when people say, hey, at home, some people really do put a lot of money into their sound systems and they have a huge screen. It's hard not to have a big screen at the house anymore. I mean, it's super
Right.
easy to have
Yeah.
a big screen at the house now. Very affordable to do so. But he goes, but there is still something to be said about going and seeing an IMAX theater with IMAX sound, and this is the perfect movie for that.
Yeah.
And he hyped it up. He goes, the sound is incredible. The racing is intense. And the guy that directed it, which I don't remember his name, but he is the same guy that did Top Gun Maverick.
Okay.
And they're like, this guy just gets it. This guy's in his lane, and he knows how to stay in his lane, and he's good at what he does in his lane.
Yeah.
So I was like, man. But the thing that I'm sorry, get back to what I was saying about what I appreciate what they were saying. On top of that was, it's hard to go to a movie nowadays if you're in a theater where there's people.
Yeah.
Because what you have to worry about is people's behavior and people being quiet, shutting up. Is there a lot of coughing? Are the people on their phones? Are they getting in and out of the theater? Like, for example, when I went to go see what did I take the kids to go see, Jay? What did I just say?
Thunderbolts.
Yeah, Thunderbolts. Thank you. Sorry. That was one of the problems. These kids that were in the front, they couldn't just stay. They were teenagers. They were being punks, but you know, whatever. They weren't being obnoxious to the point where they were talking loud enough for the whole theater, but they were up and down the whole time. And you're in the front, and they were in the front row, so you see them every single time that they're doing that. So I'm like, did it? Now, mind you, my review remains the same on Thunderbolts. I really loved it, enjoyed the experience. Glad we went to go see it in the theater.
Yeah,
but it's one of those things like, when you're taking a family and you're buying the tickets, and if you're going to buy any concessions at all, it's an expensive event to go to.
Yeah.
And you don't want it ruined by people. It's the worst. And then the problem is, if you wait too long, they take it out of the good theater that has the good system and the good the good sound system and the good screen, and they put it in one of the smaller houses. So you're not getting the same exact experience. So you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. But this F1 sounds really awesome. I probably won't pay to go see it, but I was sold pretty hard on it. I would love to, but I just don't want it to get ruined by other people. I just don't want to deal with that. So I'll be rolling the dice on Superman at some point, right? And Fantastic Four.
Well, that's the nice thing about our little theater that nobody goes to. We went this past weekend, and there were 8 people in the theater with us.
Yeah, so it's easy enough to say, "Shut up."
Yeah,
sit down. Now, here's my question about your now. But do you have it's not IMAX then, right?
No,
you don't
it's
have an
not.
IMAX theater.
No.
But you still get a good experience, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I mean, they still have a good sound system.
And all that stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I can't remember. Is that a Marcus or an AMC out by you?
It's a Marcus, but
Marcus, yeah.
They've done nothing to update the building, so it still has the Warenberg crown on it.
That's great.
We were talking about that when we went to it. Like, the building definitely could be painted. The inside is nice enough, though. But yeah, still got the old crown on it.
The way you talk about it is like no one ever goes at all. There has to be a point where there is busy, because otherwise there would be no reason for them to keep it open and operating. Because you're probably you're going to break even just paying the kids to be there to run the place.
Yeah, I don't know.
There has to be a busy time. Are you guys going to like really early times all the time?
No, I mean, with a lot of the Marvel movies, we go at like, I don't know, 7:00 showing.
So you do go to like a normal like show.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we normally don't. Like, we try to catch the before crowd, like the earlier one, or like on a Sunday or something like that, just to try to get the cheaper price. But wow, you go to a normal and it's still not that busy. Then it just boggles my mind how that place stays open.
Yeah.
I guess because it's Marcus and it's a big corporation.
Yeah.
I guess whatever.
They can eat one like that because they have the bigger ones with like the Ronnies and stuff that have the IMAX and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you're probably right. It boggles my mind a little bit. Maybe it'd be worth us to make our drive out to that one, just to not have a lot of people in it.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing that doesn't. It's just because of the drive all the way out there. That'd be a commitment to do it. But
Yeah.
just for a movie. But anyway, those are the two movies I've been kind of focused on today, just because of all the, F1 comes out today. Actually, did it already come out, or does it come out next week? I can't remember. I'd be curious if they come out, if F1 and 28 come out at the same time.
Yeah.
Let me see.
F1 comes out next week.
Is it okay? So
Yep.
the reviews are coming in a week early.
Yeah.
Before the actual release date. Okay. So, and I'm curious. I would love to go with the sound system, just feeling the whole theater vibe,
Yep.
that rumble and that vibration that you get when it's all those race scenes. Oh man, it's got to be kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of like me missing freaking Maverick out of the fucking theater. Oh, so mad. I can't go back in time.
That was definitely worth it.
God, it would have been worth it. Oh, such a good movie.
Yes.
My boy Bob. Oh, other big news. Sorry, I'm stealing some thunder here.
No,
But
it's all right.
hear the huge news. And if I think it's legit. I think it's legit. Please tell me you heard this news
I don't know.
about a certain movie that's getting a sequel after, what is it? Oh my God, it came out in the 80s. So what is that? 40 years later, we're getting a sequel. One of the best movies ever made.
No, Spaceballs.
Spaceballs 2. So you've seen it, right?
Yes, I did. That
And then
teaser.
someone says,
the teaser was amazing.
now here's my question: is Bill Pullman still alive? Paxton
Yes.
died, but
Paxton
Pullman's
died.
still with us.
Pullman's still with us.
So Pullman could still come back as Lone Star, right?
he is.
And someone said that his son could come back and be in the movie with him, which I've heard that's a rumor that he is.
No,
and someone goes,
I think they've confirmed both of them.
both of them are in it, and someone
Yeah.
goes, if his name's not Bob, we riot.
Yeah.
His name better be Bob in that damn movie. Oh my God! Now here's the question: do we need to rewatch a lot of Star Wars stuff to get ready for Spaceballs 2?
Oh God, I don't know.
Here's the other question, and this is a serious one, because Mel Brooks' humor is perfect for the 80s, the 70s and 80s, right?
Right.
It is, and maybe early 90s, because we got Robin Hood Men Tights in the early 90s, right?
Yeah.
I think, or was that super late 80s?
That was early 90s.
Okay. Can he get away with his humor in 2025?
Yes, but I'm curious about how much input he's going to have in the movie at his age.
It's not a Mel Brooks movie?
I don't know, because they did History of the World Part 2 on Hulu.
Okay.
And Nick Kroll was the one that really pushed that one.
Okay.
And Mel Brooks signed off on it, and I think he was even in it, but it wasn't like a true sequel that he made.
Dude, okay, here we go. That's why it's not going to be a Mel Brooks movie.
Okay.
He's producing, but he's not a director.
Yeah.
Josh Greenbaum will direct it, written by. Is it Josh Gad is his writer credit on this? It says.
Really?
Excuse me. It says Gad, Benji Samit, and Dan Hernandez are writing the script. I don't know any of those people.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah, Josh Gad.
Okay.
Of the Josh Gad fame.
Yes.
produced by Mel Brooks, Josh Gad, Brian Grazer, and Ron Howard. Ron Howard's a producer on it as well.
Okay.
But Mel Brooks is returning as Yogurt.
Yes.
Yes. That's awesome. Oh, and you would know Josh Greenbaum. He was the director of Will and Harper.
Okay. Yeah.
So the fact that Mel Brooks is coming back, I don't know, Jay. I don't know. If it's not Mel Brooks, and he's not super heavily involved in the writing, it will feel like an homage to Mel Brooks. It will feel as though the humor is going to be very PC because it's 2025. It's going to have a lot of 2025 humor to it, which is not going to be as good as the 80s and 70s humor. It's just not, in my opinion. But what do you think?
I don't know. I'm curious. I'm curious about it, and I will probably go see it, but I don't know.
I'm trying to read Mel Brooks' shirt, and the teaser was hilarious. It was forever long, dude.
Yeah, it was.
That thing was so long. I'm trying to think if he has a T-shirt on. I can't read it, but I think it says "Spaceballs" the announcement. I think it says on the shirt.
Nice.
Hold on, I don't want to. Let me see. Here.
I will be disappointed if it's not Spaceballs 2: The Quest for More Money.
Please be that. Please be that. That would be perfect, man. Hold on. I hope that isn't coming through here. Hold on. I hope that I got to turn the sound off of this.
So they I'm pretty sure they confirmed that Bill Pullman's in it and Lewis Pullman, and Rick Moranis is coming back.
I know, and he hasn't. This means a lot because he hasn't been in anything really, right? Since he kind of walked away because of the wife, taking care of the wife and the family and all that stuff.
Yeah, I think he's done. He did, I think, a commercial for Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, well. Okay, I didn't know that.
And I think he did
Just kinda
something
threw
along the lines of Strange Brew, like some kind of reunion thing for that. But yeah, he's pretty much been out of the limelight.
Jay, it has to be called The Quest for More Money. That'd be perfect. Oh man, yeah, the original cast members return, kind of like a la the Force Awakens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Kind of
So,
like
like,
all of them.
they didn't know.
But who would reprise John Candy's role? Who's gonna be Barf?
Yeah, that's going to be the question, and they don't know if Daphne Zuniga is going to be back as.
Is she still with us?
Yeah, she is.
Okay.
But I don't know if she acts anymore. I haven't seen her in anything in years.
Oh my! And you don't have Joan Rivers as the voice,
Right.
Dot, right?
Yep.
Oh God, Pete. And you don't have Phil Hartman. You don't have Phil Hartman because he was Dink, I think, right? The guy that was eating the hut. Wasn't he the guy that was eating Pizza the Hut?
I don't remember if he was.
I could have swore that was him.
I'm gonna pull up IMDb real quick.
Oh my God! Let's do that. We need to pull up Spaceballs, the original, on IMDb, and we kind of got to go through this here. Hold on. Come on, IMDb. Get rid of Spaceballs 2, because yeah, I looked at Spaceballs 2 on IMDb, and nothing really came up.
Yeah.
There's Spaceballs, an animated series? I don't remember that.
I don't either.
Hold on, let's see. So Rick Moranis, yeah, Daphne Zuniga, Dick Van Patten. He can't be with it. He's got to pass at this point.
I'm
right?
pretty sure he has. Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, would we get Michael Winslow
Weiner's
back?
still. He's still around, so yeah, he could definitely come back. Hold on.
So maybe if you don't have Joan Rivers for the voice of Dot, you could get her daughter to do it.
Oh, true. But no, what about George Weiner? I think he's still with it. I don't see a death date on him.
Yeah, I don't know.
He was what was his name? He was Colonel Sanders.
Yes. Colonel Sanders?
Mm-hmm. Ludicrous speed. And then what's his name is gonna be no, never mind. I'm thinking of the wrong person. Let's see here. Major asshole.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sandy Helberg as Dr. Schlotkin. What a name.
All right.
Oh, and then Mike, he's a bit actor or character actor. If you look up Mike Nowinski, I guess how you pronounce it. He's Laser Gunner.
Yeah.
And it's hard to miss him, but yeah, he's got to still be around. John Hurt's not alive anymore.
No, he
right?
passed.
I think he passed. Okay. Oh man, that'd be so great if they could get Zuniga back in there. They gotta get everybody they can. They're not gonna, and then what are they gonna do? What's gonna be the bit about combing the desert? What are they gonna do now instead of the pick? What are they gonna have?
Oh, God, I don't know.
Comb the desert. We found shit. Oh my God, we could just do lines from that movie all day long, dude. When does this happen in the movie? Now! It's happening right now, sir. Oh, goodness. Okay, well, I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be great.
Yeah, I am too.
Is that a theater movie? Is that you guys go? I know you guys.
We'll be there for the theater for it because the kids have seen it. Kids love it. I showed it to them years ago.
How do you not love Spaceballs? Spaceballs: The Quest for More Money. Perfect title. Perfect title.
Well, that was what Yogurt joked about when he mentioned the sequel in the original.
Oh, is that what he says?
Yes.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Well, come on. It's already written, right?
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Don't mess that up. So, all right. And then I don't know. Have you heard anything about Elio? That one. That's the new Pixar one, right?
I haven't heard anything about it yet. Will wants to go see it though, so
yeah.
Maybe his sisters will take it because I'll probably just wait for Disney Plus on that one.
I have what's it even about? Do you even know
no clue.
About?
I think we even saw the trailer for it this past weekend. I don't even remember. A robot, maybe?
Some aliens finding a place. No, it's about aliens.
Yes, okay. Yeah, I do remember now.
Okay. I haven't even seen it. I don't think I've seen a trailer for it or anything like that.
It's like an outcast kid is abducted by aliens, and they think he's like the ruler of Earth, and so he's trying to... go through the motions of like negotiating stuff on behalf of Earth.
This person says this gave them the Last Starfighter type of vibes.
Okay.
Last Starfighter that's a blind spot for me.
Oh, it's so good. We watched that with the kids a few years ago.
Yeah. Is that what would I? Where would you? Is that like you got to rent it from the library kind of thing? Or do you think that's? I never see it anywhere.
I think I got it from the library.
Streaming. Yeah. Let me see if it's streaming anywhere. I want to watch Tron again. It's been a while since I've seen Tron. I feel like because I saw there's another Tron movie coming out and it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
They look so cool. The newer ones, they just look really cool.
Tron Ares. I think it comes out in September.
Okay. Tron's on Disney Plus.
Yes, it is.
The first Tron is.
Will and I watched that probably in the last 2 years as well.
Oh, not last Star Wars movie, last Starfighter, dude. Let's see. Last Star.
The effects
you gotta get it from probably the library.
Yeah.
That's giving me YouTube. Buy it on YouTube or rent it on YouTube.
Yeah. The effects on it don't hold up, but it's still entertaining.
I bet you. Hold on. I'm gonna pull up YouTube. I bet you could just watch the damn thing on YouTube.
It's possible.
Put it on there. It might be in Korean or something like that, but that's okay.
Yeah. You'll get the gist of the movie.
Let's see if it's on here. Last Star. Let's see what comes up here, dude. Just out of curiosity. No, well, there's YouTube. You can render it by. But I was just curious if I could watch the whole stupid thing. Sometimes they go, here's part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4.
Yeah.
Just put like 2-minute clips. Nah. So I can't remember. What do you think about Last Starfighter? It doesn't hold up?
The effects don't really hold up, but the story is still good.
Still a good story.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kids liked it, and I mean, they're used to like Avengers and Marvel movies that have the great effects and.
You need to show your kid that you probably haven't yet. You need to show your kid Iron Eagle, dude.
Oh,
He's got to see Iron Eagle at some point, right?
Yeah.
When are you going to show him that one? Come on.
Yeah, I got.
This is what they don't have Channel 11, and Channel 11 used to show everything. It showed all the good movies back in the day. Oh, if we could really get Channel 11 back.
I know.
Watch movies all Sundays, right? Because there was like 4 movies a day back in the day. They'd show like 3 during the day and then a late night one right before bed.
Yeah.
That.
I mean, they would be a lot better off with the TV options we had back then.
Yeah.
Because like MTV actually showed music videos.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're right. Oh, let's see. So I'm sorry. Did you have topics before I completely just kind of torpedoed this whole thing with things I've been listening to today?
No, it's
but I mean, it's summer stuff. It's summer. We're kind of in the thick. Well, not even in the thick of it. I mean, when does the summer movie season technically start now? Is it late May, or are we gonna say June's the official start of it, and the big guns come out in July, and you kind of fade off into August?
I think it's actually like the first weekend of May now. So like when Thunderbolts came out.
Yeah. Okay. How do you think Superman's going to do? You think it's going to do gangbusters and hit $1 billion, or do you think it's going to fall short?
I think it's going to do really well. I hope it does really well.
I'm hoping it does really well, but I think it's not going to do as well as we want it to. That's my fear. My fear is that, but it looks like there's already 10 million in pre-sales, is what I just read here.
Okay.
So that's not a bad start.
No,
right?
It's not. And
so here's the. No, go ahead. I'm sorry. I was going to cut you off.
No, it just got me thinking, like, how many people are going to be at the point where they're going to hear James Gunn relaunch DC and want to give it a shot? Not like, oh, this is the next one after the Snyderverse. It's all part of that still. Yep. Because, I mean, there's a lot of detractors still.
Did you hear about the news about the Snyderverse in regards to the stuff on Reddit where they're going to, the people of the Snyderverse thread on Reddit are going to try to, what's it called, review bomb Superman? There's plans to try to do that.
That's so stupid.
It is dumb. And that's coming from someone that I'm a pro Snyderverse guy, but I can also live in a world where I can have a Snyderverse and a Gunverse. I can have both. It's not going to bother me either way. And then what was funny, one thing I read online this week about it was James Gunn had a quote in regards to where he was saying his Superman is a Superman that can still get beat. And then someone goes, people are starting to really rip into Gunn about that, right?
Yeah.
Going, this is so dumb. It's Superman. Superman shouldn't be someone that's weak. Basically, I think even in the quote was the word weak.
Yeah.
And I go, well, Superman, he doesn't have any drama if you don't give him some kind of weakness to overcome.
Yeah.
That's what makes him Superman. He overcomes and he's the sign of hope because he doesn't ever give up.
Yep.
because he doesn't give up on. That's one thing. He doesn't give up on people, or he doesn't give up on situations. Those are the things that make him Superman. Because he's always that beacon of hope. And then some guy, because he's like, this has got to be coming from a Snyderverse guy. And then the next one goes, people complain about James Gunn saying his Superman is weak, and then they go Snyderverse, Superman dies.
Yeah.
There's nothing weaker than dying, is basically what he was trying to say.
Yep.
That's so weak that you died, man. So there's that. I'm just worried that we've got really high hopes and expectations, and when it comes to Supes, it's just, man, you really, in the world we live in now, in today's day and age, we could really use we could really use this to work well. I think
Yeah.
the world needs hope, and that's what I told you that last week when I was going to read Life of Chuck. I just need something to be hopeful about.
Yeah.
It'd be nice just to have some positivity in the world. We're such a cynical, and everything sucks, and everything's the worst, and things are just, at the beginning of this podcast, woe is me, things are going. But that's just life. Life happens, and you deal with it, and you roll with the punches, right?
Yep.
But and then it would be nice to have a movie like a Superman, whether you're like, there's only one Superman, it's Henry Cavill. No, I'm who. Come on, besides me, who's one of the bigger Cavill fans out there?
Yeah.
I'm still gonna watch this Corn Sweat guy and see how he does, and he seems great. I'm sorry, in the small clips, and I'm trying not to watch any more trailer stuff.
Yeah.
But he seems like a nice guy. He seems fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And maybe he'll blow me away with this performance, and he'll probably do really well. Because I trust James Gunn to do well with this.
Yeah.
Because I'm also a fan of what Gunn's been saying in regards to. He's been critical of Marvel, not because he doesn't love Marvel, because obviously he does. And he didn't leave because he put in his time, right? He did his time with Marvel. It's just he's like, Marvel was just, they had to succumb to the machine. They succumbed to the machine of, let's pump out as much Marvel stuff as we can so we can produce as much money, versus what James Gunn is doing is, if the script's not right, we don't do it.
Yeah.
I think he said they scrapped something. I can't remember what it was that he said he scrapped, but he's like, we're not going to do it. The script wasn't right. It wasn't a good story. He's just like, but luckily, like, I think it was the Clayface. There's news about a Clayface movie, and they're like, we just nailed it on the first try. We got lucky.
Yeah.
Clayface works.
He didn't.
Supergirl works.
Yeah.
Is what they're saying. It landed right with him, and the script it works. But I kind of appreciate that about the approach he's taking with the DC stuff. If it's not right, like, don't force a Batman.
Yeah.
Don't force it. And I think his things that, I don't know if you heard him talking about Batman, was he's like, he's so popular, and he's popular for a reason, but we've done all the stories.
Yeah.
So that's what's making this script hard to write, is we're trying to do, let's find something that hasn't been done before yet.
Yeah.
But then my response was, but you've already announced Brave and the Bold, and no one's seen Damian yet, so let's fucking do Damian.
Yeah.
He's saying one thing. He's talking out of both sides of his mouth in a certain way. Unless now I question you, and I've told you all along, I'll believe it when I see it. I don't know if we're going to get Damian. I don't think we're going to get a Batman movie right now. It's not quick, because now the rumors are all about Pattinson's going to show up in his universe. But we were told Pattinson's not part of this universe. So now, is he just talking out of his ass because they can't figure Batman out?
So the article I read said they want to do something fresh with the character, because we've seen all aspects of it, and they don't necessarily want to go super dark, because that's been, I mean, the last 5 Batman movies have been that way. So yeah, but I think having Damian in there is going to make a big difference for the dynamic of the movie, because we were happy with the Batman because we got the detective finally. Now we're going to get the father. And I think that's going to be that should be the aspect of the character they go for. Because I've been reading the Batman and Robin comic, which is like really about their dynamic. And it's really good.
Yeah.
I love that book.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, first getting, it's great. But really, the Dick and Damian stuff is really, really good.
Yes.
I don't know if you've read a lot of that, but that's the stuff right there. But no, Batman and Robin books, are you reading the Gleason stuff?
Yeah. Oh, no, it's the current book. I can't.
There's something current that's going on right now.
Yeah, they're like 20 issues into it. I can't think of who writes it though.
Is it Brave and it's not Brave and Bold. Brave and Bold had Superman and Batman, right?
No, that's World's Finest.
World's Finest, sorry. So what are we doing?
It's just Batman and Robin. Didn't come out this week. Here it is.
Let's see, 16 number of issues 16. It started back in September of 23.
Yep, Philip Kennedy Johnson.
Philip Kennedy Johnson. See, and he, man, I was super hyped about his Superman, and it did not move the needle very much with me. Not to say that was bad, but it just didn't move the needle completely the way. I think it was too hyped for me, to be honest with you. But I'm reading something here. I can't believe how DC just undermined 18 years. The beloved Batman and Robin run officially changed hands on October 9th of 24 as writer Joshua Williams. Oh, so I guess it started with Joshua Williamson.
Okay.
I guess this would have been All In, I guess, would have been back in 23. Is that when that started?
No, All In was last year, towards the end of last year.
So Dawn of DC?
Yeah, probably Dawn of DC.
Okay. I'm so behind on everything, Jay.
Yeah.
Super behind. Just can't get caught up in my life. I was about to text you this week to go, okay, I've been asking you for it. I don't think you've done it. I'm going to ask one more time. Have you completed a Krakoa error for me? Because maybe I'll just skip everything X-Men and go straight to Krakoa.
Yeah, that's what I'd recommend doing. I have not been able to finish a list for it, but you could at least start with the House of X?
Yeah,
Powers of 10.
Stuff.
Yeah.
No, I can't decide, Jay. I can't decide what to do.
I know.
I'm getting pretty much caught up on my Green Lantern stuff, and I'm ready to hop off. I think I'm Green Lantern out at this point.
Yeah.
But I'm so close. I'm really, really close to just going, man, I could almost be caught up. But then I'll have to get caught up on everything else, and then I'll just fall behind on this again. But I'm finally at Rebirth. But Rebirth seems so far behind now because it was Rebirth, Dawn of DC, All In. I bet you they're ready to move on to the next thing after All In. I bet.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I really don't know, man. But there's just so much good stuff out there, and I just wish there were an easier way to do it all. I really, really do wish there was an easier way.
Yeah.
But just not. There's just not. So I don't know. I'm excited, but then I'm here. I just saw this too, but this makes me kind of apprehensive. It just said, comicbookmovie.com Superman box office tracking reveals first DC movie could open with as little as 90 million. Now I live in a world where I go, 90 million still seems like a lot of money to me. It's not in the big scheme of things. I guess it's $1 billion or nothing, right?
Yeah, at this point, yeah.
So I don't know. What do you think? Is it gonna? I have to believe it's gonna.
Okay.
Maybe it comes out, and hopefully there's good word of mouth, and hopefully people. If it's really good, hopefully they'll get multiple viewings from it, right?
Yeah, and I'm thinking the word of mouth is going to be pretty big on it, because I don't think Guardians did great the first weekend it was out, but word of mouth spread on that one pretty quickly.
But that's because no one had a clue who they were.
Oh, true.
And actually, I watched a video recently about that in regards to Guardians of the Galaxy, just kind of a small history of it.
Yeah.
And the people that are in the Guardians of the Galaxy, the movie, they were not the original Guardians of the Galaxy at all.
No.
Like, even a little bit.
No, because it was set in like the year 3000, and they introduced a lot of those characters in the second movie. So Sylvester Stallone's character.
Yondu was the most, that was the one character from like the original thing.
Yeah.
But because I remember at some point I heard something about like when Peter Quill was announced, but that was like a whole like inside joke to the writers' room, to the bullpen, because like, well, get it, Peter Quill, it's Dick.
Yeah.
It's a penis joke. That's actually what it was. And then, but yeah, no, I don't think you need word of mouth for Superman. Unless the only word of mouth you need is that hopefully people are saying it's just good, right? But they already know what they're getting into. Like they're not using the new villains. I mean, what's it called? The architect or what's it? The engineer.
The engineer, yeah.
Yeah, no one's gonna know who that is. But otherwise, I think Metallo's in it, and it's Luthor, right?
Well,
Mr. Terrific, I guess, is a little new. No one knows Guy Gardner from a general audience standpoint.
So Mr. Terrific will have a little bit of a following from people that were into the Arrowverse. Yeah.
Sure.
But they're also using, was it Ultraman, the Earth 2 Superman?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So then the question begs, are there too many characters in this thing at this point?
I think it depends on how they use them.
Because if I remember right, let's see. This is not the Ultraman. This ain't right. That's not who I'm thinking of. Yeah, Ultraman, because he's from, I forget which universe. Like you said, it's a different universe, but he's evil. I know that.
Yeah, because I want to say it was Earth 2, and it was like the Crime Syndicate of America. Is
correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just remember Wonder Woman from that universe is really bad too. Like really mean.
Yeah.
if I remember correctly. But I think if I remember the story right, I think that Superman and Wonder Woman, I don't remember which one. It's probably a spoiler. I think they're having a kid or something like. I don't remember how it goes. But
Yeah.
yeah. How many times is that? That's almost a trope at this point.
Yeah.
Says here, Ultraman possesses the standard powers of Kryptonians, like super strength, and gains new abilities such as he is when exposed to kryptonite. So he wants to be exposed to kryptonite. We'll see. I don't know. Earth 3, I think, is what it's from.
Okay.
I think I just read that. So Earth 3. I'm nervous for it.
So
Then James Gunn was throwing some shade at the Snyderverse in regards to the suit, in regards to Cavill versus Cornsweat, saying they put him in a muscle suit versus Cornsweat is not in a muscle suit like Cavill was. But I was like, yeah, you can say Cavill was in a muscle, but that dude got ripped for these movies.
Oh yeah.
He was already a bigger guy to begin with, so I don't know, man.
And he stayed that way.
Yeah. Well, same as Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
Tom Hardy, as soon as he did, well, it started with the Warriors movie when he was doing UFC, and he stuck with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with Bane. The dude's just built like a wrestler now, and he just kept on that same heavy frame.
I'm pretty sure he won a jiu-jitsu tournament too.
I have no idea. But anyhow, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
It's a lot of stuff just on the internet about everything right now. It's just so much in regards to these movies coming out.
Yeah.
So, sorry, you probably actually had topics. So what topics did you actually want to run into here?
Well, I sent you a video earlier in the week about the face of Marvel. The 4 characters who'd be the face of Marvel.
Oh, basically like the 4 pillars?
Yeah. And so...
When did you send this? And which one did you send? Text or the messenger?
Through Messenger. The 4 faces of Marvel. And the guy had Spider-Man, Iron Man, Captain America, and then a blank spot.
Yes, I remember that one. Yes.
And then he argued that he would not include Iron Man.
And I agree. We had that same discussion. Because this is when we were talking about legacy characters the week before.
Yeah.
So, okay, we're going to say the 4 pillars of the MCU. So let's do our 4 pillars of the MCU. I agree with Spider-Man has to be on it.
Yes, I agree.
He has to be on it. And I think he argued Hulk has to be on it too. Correct?
Yes, correct.
If I remember the video correct. Do you agree with Hulk being on as a pillar?
I think so. Because part of what I'm thinking about is the people recognizing the character. And even if people didn't read Hulk comics, especially in the 80s, they knew him from the TV show.
Sure. I agree with that.
And so he's had a lot more exposure than Iron Man did until 2008.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, so a pillar. When we discussed it as far as from a legacy standpoint, a pillar, Spider-Man, obviously. I'm going to put Hulk on there for now, but he can be removed here as we go through this exercise. I don't know how you don't have... can we count the Fantastic Four as one pillar? Because it's 4 different characters?
Yeah, I don't know. But even then...
I don't know how you cannot have them as a pillar when they were what started it all.
Yeah. But I mean, technically, he's got Captain America on there. And Captain America was Timely Comics before it became Marvel.
Yeah. And he's still... What's so great about Cap's character, even in today's world, is he still has a place in it. In regards to... he's an important character at a time where patriotism is a little bit different nowadays.
Yeah.
We'll say that. Right and wrong, what's standing up for what you believe in, even though what Cap believes in might not be what the government wants you to believe in, which they touched on that, right, a little bit in the movie.
And they touch on the comic quite a bit, because, I mean, that was the whole... I mean, the whole Civil War comic was about that.
Yeah. Cap's that's a good call. I'm just trying to think, okay, if you had to do Cap versus Hulk, which one would you take?
I would probably take Cap over him, because I look at Cap...
I'm not going to argue with you, to be honest with you. But
I look at Cap like Superman, where he's like the beacon of hope.
Yeah.
And I think you need that.
He's the best of us.
Yes.
Right? They kind of look at him that way. Like, he's the best of us. Spidey is who we are, though. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Down on your luck. Just life can't go right. And sometimes we all just feel like that, even though, for him, life really... my parents didn't die, my girlfriend didn't die, like that. Like tragically is what I meant by that. Sorry. We will all lose those things in our life at some point in time. But his were early in life and tragically.
It made me think of the meme about a kid going on Batman the Ride, and he comes back and both his parents are shot next to him.
Right. That's ridiculous. Oh man, this is hard because then if we're gonna say no to Fantastic Four. If let's keep going through the exercise.
There.
I mean, I can't pick one X-Men. I think one, like in the video, I think you picked Wolverine, right?
Yeah.
But my point is, you picking Wolverine because he's the most popular, because he's just the most badass, and his backstory's kind of fun. It's kind of cool,
Yeah.
right? Kind of mystery, and he's just got that brooding bad guy, not bad guy, but a bad boy thing to him, right?
Yeah.
Which, that's kind of fun, but does he really? Is he symbolic of what the X-Men really stand for?
Yeah.
Or is he just a badass character?
I think he's
right. Now think about it, Jay. Think about it. Does he really? At a certain point, you'll argue yes, because of course, at one point he's running a school separate from Scott, right?
Yeah.
So he believes in the mission. He believes in the mission that was Charles's mission, right?
Yeah.
But would you say, is Charles a pillar? Is Charles Xavier a pillar of the Marvel universe?
I would say no.
I would agree, because he's just not that. He's important, but he's more important in the X-Men universe versus the entire Marvel universe.
And really, if you look at his whole story arc, he's not a great character. Whereas if you compare him to Wolverine started out not a great person, and he's trying to get that redemption.
Yeah.
Everything he's doing is redemption.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a huge thing for the story.
Okay. So are you arguing that Wolverine should be a pillar of the entire Marvel universe?
I think so. Because if you think about, too, back in the early 2000s when New Avengers came out, and they wanted their version of the Justice League that had the most, the biggest characters, and that's when they put Spider-Man and Wolverine in the Avengers.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a reason they put him in that.
Okay. I'm not arguing against you. I'm just playing devil. Trying to say, just for argument's sake and just for content's sake. I'm just trying to think through the books here real quick, because it's probably easier to eliminate than to say for sure.
Right.
For as much as I love Daredevil, I'm not gonna say he's a pillar, because he's a great character. I love his books, but
and we've talked, is he the top of the B level, or is he bottom A level? So.
Yeah, that's hard. And, well, depends on who. You don't want to ask me. I'm the wrong person.
Right.
To ask. Take a non-super Daredevil fan and ask that question. He's like a C character to me, right?
Yeah.
So,
and so the question then, what about someone like Black Panther or Storm to have representation as one of the pillars?
Yeah.
Because at this point, Black Panther is probably one of the most well-known, well-received Marvel characters.
Here's my question, though. If you're really talking about it from within the Marvel universe itself, aren't they striving to get to a point where there isn't representation? There's not a need for that, where they're all just beloved just for who they are as a character.
Yeah.
That's my only, just again, adding in some devil's advocate to this.
Right.
Because I love T'Challa. Great character. He's Illuminati in regards to one of the smartest people on the planet.
Yep.
His power set's amazing, right? The suit's awesome. He runs an entire country, and that country is one of the most powerful.
Yeah.
It's.
And he's not this flawless character. He's got his issues, with pride and. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not, but also being what's the word I'm thinking for? And I don't want to use nationalistic, but just cut out the outside world as long as Wakanda's taken care of.
Yeah.
It's one of those things versus also, okay, I'm trying to get away from that, and I also want to be inclusive of everything. He's a great character. He's so freaking awesome. He is really, really good. But I'm talking what's our standards for a pillar? I guess would maybe make this exercise easier to define.
Yeah.
Is it the historical value of the character within the universe itself? Is it who the character has become, as in Wolverine? Is it in regards to their longevity of who they are as a character?
Yeah.
Is it popularity? I'm just trying to throw things out, just to go. How do you assess such a thing?
Yeah.
Because if you use popularity, well, Hulk was popular. Hulk still carry around as much popularity even within the books.
Right.
I would probably say not as much.
And
I bet you his books don't sell better than Daredevil's books.
Yeah. And if you're going to go that route, everyone loves Deadpool right now.
in super, whether in the books or the movies or anything, right? But really, Deadpool as a pillar of Marvel universe. That's it. Almost it's hilarious. While it's also
It just feels wrong.
It just feels wrong, right?
Yeah.
He's just not that person.
And I'm a huge Deadpool fan and have been for years, but yeah,
sure.
I could not include him in that top 4.
It feels like you got to hit on this. You got to have Spidey no matter what.
Yes.
Right? That's at least we had that one cleared up.
Yeah.
I feel then you have to have something from the mutant side because there's just this universe.
Yeah.
And the mutants are their own pocket within this universe. They're joined in, right? They're part of it, but they're also their own universe is so expansive, right?
Yes.
It's just huge. Then you have the cosmic, then you have the street level, which I guess Spidey could cover the street level stuff, right? But my question is, can you have Cap and Black Panther both on as your pillars, or do they kind of represent the same thing?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just asking. I'm not saying they do or do not. I'm just asking that question. I feel like you have to have a mutant representation on there somehow, and whether it be Wolverine, you could make the argument for Jean.
Yeah.
You could make the argument for Scott.
Yeah. I think you could for Storm.
You could for Storm. You could make the argument for Magneto.
Yeah.
Just because if you're saying it's all about redemption.
Yeah.
More recently, right? I don't know. I almost feel like I wish you could say Fantastic Four is a pillar, X-Men are a pillar, Spidey's a pillar, and then you could put in whoever you want as your fourth one. That's what I feel.
Or the Avengers.
Right? Well, then you're just cheating.
Yeah.
It's too easy.
Yeah.
That really encompasses every single one of them.
Yeah.
But then from a cosmic standpoint, that's a whole different world as well. You got Nova, you've got
Silver Surfer. Yeah.
You know, I mean, anybody from the Guardians. I mean, that now, because I'm like, does it matter? Does what matter? Popularity today, does that matter? Does that make your pillar? Or it has to be from when your company was founded? Which then, if you do that, if your company was founded, maybe you don't have the X-Men on there at all because they didn't come till much later.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I want to say it almost seems easier with DC because right off the bat, you have your 3 of your 4.
Got your 3. And here's my thing, though. Name a Wonder Woman run that you love and is beloved. Name one.
Yeah. I couldn't because I've never really...
Do we just say it's Wonder Woman because she's part of it? Because she always has been? And we just accept that as is?
Or if they focus on 3 characters, it's always those 3 they focus on.
Well, I'm the wrong guy to ask because if you give me DC, I'm going to put Dick Grayson as one of my pillars.
Yeah.
I think I have to at this point because give me him because I wouldn't want to. Would it be easier to do the exercise for you to say if you eliminated this character from the universe completely, would the universe be shaken by it? Would it be for the worse? So let's do that. If the Fantastic Four were removed from the Marvel universe, how would you feel about that? Or how do you think comic nerddom would feel about that?
I don't know. I struggle with that one because I'm not a huge Fantastic Four fan. I want to go back and I want to read Hickman's run because I want to do a big Secret Wars lead-in. Sure. And I want to read the Ryan North stuff that's coming out right now because apparently it's really good.
Yeah.
But I feel like
from a non-fan standpoint, you could still appreciate the history of the group.
Yeah. But I mean, if
what
you...
they meant to the universe, that is.
But if you look at the characters individually, I mean... Human Torch and Spider-Man, I kind of put them together.
Yeah.
Invisible Woman maybe with like a Storm type.
No.
You have so many geniuses in the Marvel Universe, like Iron Man, Hulk, to go there with Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah.
And then you could even say Hulk with Thing because they're both just big powerhouses. So if you eliminated the Fantastic Four, you still have comparable characters. Maybe not one for one perfectly, but I mean, they've had other characters step in to fill in for the Fantastic Four in the past.
Could you eliminate the X-Men from the pillars? And just what if the X-Men were taken out completely? I could see where if the X-Men weren't even part of Marvel Comics, they could still have their own publisher and still do well.
Yes, I agree with that. I feel like Marvel's kind of tried to do that before when Fox had the movie rights. they tried to focus on Inhumans instead.
Yeah.
And we saw how that worked out.
Yeah. Just from a popularity standpoint, I think you got to go Wolverine as your representation.
Yeah.
I think you have to. I don't mind Cap, but I could easily see Cap being replaced by somebody else. It wouldn't bother me. How about that? It just wouldn't.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I get why he would. I get why he would be.
Yeah.
And then you go, well, who are you going to replace Cap with? Maybe T'Challa.
Maybe.
Or Mr. Or if you're going to, it just would feel wrong if the Fantastic Four were not. It just feels wrong somehow. I don't know if I can't put my finger on the pulse of why, but it just does feel that way. But I'll go Spidey. I'll go Spidey. I'll go Fantastic Four. I'll go. Just to make it easier, I'm gonna do Cap and X-Men. If you have to have just Wolverine, that's fine. But I'm gonna say all the X-Men.
Yeah.
Even though does that feel like cheating just to say the Avengers then? If you say just the X-Men?
It kind of does because they have such big rosters and.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess the only obvious answer then is Wolverine. Once you go through the whole exercise, that makes sense, and that's a good one. And then I guess I'll ask you your DC because I mean, I could very easily take away Wonder Woman and replace her with Flash, and I'll have Dick Grayson on there, and I'll just do Supes, Batman, Dick Grayson, and I'll have the Flash on there.
Yeah, that's a solid one.
Although I think in the video I watched where they did that, they replaced they didn't use the Flash. They said the Joker would be a pillar. And I go, wow, we're gonna put because then I go back to Marvel. Do you need to put a villain on there? Would you put Doctor Doom as a pillar of the Marvel universe?
Yeah, especially with as much as they're trying to push him right now.
Well, that's just because of the movie.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, I'm okay with that argument. But then from a DC standpoint, I can't have the Joker on there. I just can't. I can't. He's a great character, and he's super important to the Bat universe. But if you're going to use our previous litmus test, of saying if this person were removed from the universe altogether, how would that impact the entire DC universe?
Yeah.
He's got so many other great enemies besides the Joker. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, he'd be missing. I mean, obviously we'd miss it, but I don't think he needs to be a pillar. And you could even replace. I don't know who else. Who would you replace the Flash with, if you didn't have him on there?
Maybe Martian Manhunter.
Oh, really?
He always seems to be the constant with the Justice League. Even when like Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman aren't there, he's the one that's always there.
Yeah.
They say he's the heart and the conscience of the team.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have the. He's not recognizable enough. It would be the problem.
But I thought I saw something. I don't know if you saw this one. I don't know if I sent it to you or not. Excuse me. It was a battle between. God, I want to say it was Hulk and maybe Thor. It was Hulk and Thor.
Mm-hmm.
And the battle was between and it was those two versus Superman and Martian Manhunter.
Ooh.
And I said, I was very easy to do this. I said, all Martian Manhunter has to do is get inside your brain, and he's gonna melt your brain out, dude.
Oh yeah.
It's too easy. I mean, just with but like, I mean, if you just want to take it from, I mean, most of the people on the thread were like, well, Superman will just carry you in outer space, and you'll die in outer space. That's all they said.
Yeah.
Well, not with Thor, but with Hulk, he would just carry Hulk in outer space, and Hulk would. They're gonna say, well, Hulk's too strong; he can't die in outer space. But I'm like, well, no, Hulk. I don't know. Does the gamma radiation protect him from needing oxygen?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he could just take a deep breath, I guess.
Yeah.
And hold his breath for a really long time, but still.
He's got giant lungs.
That's the way I kind of thought about it. But I go, the problem with the Hulk thing is, he has speed, but he does not have Superman's speed.
Right.
And Superman would just be too fast for him. Same with Thor. Thor does not have speed. He has strength, and he can fly.
Yeah.
But he does not have Superman's speed. And so Superman, you could try to land a blow on him, but you're not going to. He'll just evade everything you do. And then Martian Manhunter, just like I said, he'll melt your brain.
Yeah.
And that's what they said. There's like, you need to go read more Martian Manhunter books before you, because a lot of people then were like, that you knew who were the Superman guys versus you knew who were the MCU guys from the movies. Those were the guys that were like, well, Thor's just, so bad, blah, blah, blah. And Thor beat the crap out of all of them. And then the guy's like, please just go read a Martian Manhunter book, and then you'll change your mind really fast. Trust me.
Yeah.
he was the voice of reason in the whole thread.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, no, I love those kind of things. But yeah, no, I guess that's where I go. Oh, sorry, you still didn't really answer. So again, I'm sorry. From your DC standpoint, who do you have? Do you leave Wonder Woman on yours?
I would probably leave Wonder Woman and then use
Okay.
Nightwing as the fourth.
Okay. And what do you? I think that would be a hot take. I really do. I think a lot of people would just not agree with that at all.
Yeah.
But then I try to think of who. Okay, if it's not Nightwing, who do they put in there? I mean, the Flash is the obvious answer.
Right.
I think,
or maybe Green Lantern.
or Green Lantern. You could have your choice
Yeah.
of who you want to argue about that. Green Lanterns are very flawed, though. The more I read of all my Green Lantern stuff, that's a very flawed thing. And man, this past book, whew, man, I had to really skim that one. It just was not good. But the problem was it was written by Sam Humphries, which sometimes I enjoyed, some of his work. But they also gave some love to St. Louis in the book.
Oh, nice.
The book was they had the arch in there and everything. They actually the artwork, Jay, it had the parking structure, that is the old school parking structure for the Old Busch Stadium.
Yeah.
That you would know it. Trust me, know the parking structure I'm talking about. Yeah, no, he gave some love to that. There was some love to St. Louis, but also not love to St. Louis.
Yeah.
Just basically making fun of Missouri, and then they used the old misery joke. He put a misery joke in there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd have Green Lantern on my pillar or not.
Yeah.
With you. That's coming from a guy. I love Green Lantern. I love Green Lantern, but if I were to now, here's the thing. If I were to choose a Green Lantern, the first thing you go is probably you might say John Stewart or Hal.
I'd say probably. I'd say
you go
John Stewart.
John Stewart.
Yeah.
I'd probably lean, and here's where I'm going to catch you off guard. They're not even my two favorite Green Lanterns. My favorite Green Lantern is Kilowog.
Yeah.
Kilowog's just the heart. He's just such a heart to those guys.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just everything. Although they want Kyle Rayner to be the heart of the Green Lanterns, and just he's the artistic one. He's a soft soul.
Yeah.
But he's dumb.
Well,
Kyle Rayner's not my favorite.
Yeah.
I'm not a pro. I don't hate him. I really don't hate him. But of all the ones to choose from, and to be honest with you, if you're not a Guy Gardner fan, I don't know. Me and James Gunn, I think, would get along. We're St. Louis guys. He likes Guy Gardner. I get Guy Gardner, and I get why people like Guy Gardner, especially if you're from the '70s, man. He's just a badass. He's like we talked about earlier in this podcast about staying in your lane.
Yeah.
Guy Gardner knows his lane, and he's really good about staying.
Yes.
Really, really good at it, and I can appreciate that about a person. I really can.
Yeah. But Will keeps questioning, why are they using Guy Gardner? He's the worst one. I'm like, no, he's not. I'm like, you got to get to know him.
You got to get to know Guy Gardner. The fact, and here's the thing, the look of the bowl cut is just a nod to, it's silly, and most artists will give him the bowl cut. But in more recent comics that I'm reading right now, they actually give him a look where he's actually from the current decade.
Yeah.
The bowl cut is not used.
Yeah.
But his badassness stays the same.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, the guy knows he's not the smartest guy in the room. He openly admits he's not the smartest guy in the room.
Yeah.
But he's the most loyal. He's the guy you want in your corner when you're in a fight, because he's never going to give up. He's going to fight to the death, to protect his friends, kind of character. So, that's again, tell your son, if he's going to talk smack about it, you got to learn about the character a little bit more before you do that. That's all I'm saying. It's easy to pick on him, though. I get it.
Yeah.
I totally get it. Super easy just by the look of Gardner. I get it.
Yep.
But dude, I'm telling you, this the most recent book I read was because they were introducing the two newer Lanterns, where it's Boz and Jessica Cruz.
Yeah.
Man, I'm just like, we've got too many Earth Lanterns. Let's get some more aliens in here. Come on, guys.
That was always
they didn't need to introduce them.
That was always the thing too. Like, they didn't like the Earth Lantern, so it was always limited to just Hal for a long time, and then you get John and Guy.
Yep. And then now 6 is a lot.
Yeah.
It just feels like a lot. Now, mind you, you're protecting the entire universe, so maybe it's not enough. But still,
yeah.
I digress. Just, man, it's one of those times where you're just reading a book and you're like, Jay, let me get through this thing. Let's be done.
Yeah.
Let's get this one knocked out. A lot of skimming in that one.
Yeah.
Well, at least I didn't skim over the St. Louis stuff. But anywho, all right.
Thanks for listening. Follow us on social media at Nyrdcast. It's NYRDCAST, and at our website, nerdcast.com. Be sure to rate and review the podcast on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. This week's featured track is Turn This Up by Half Dizzy.